Good morning, everyone. Welcome to another edition of the Mad for the Euro show. I am Chris Collins, at Christopher Collins on Twitter and all of the social, hosting today. And I've got that man, Big Gunner, across from me. How you doing, mate? You all right?
I'm all right, man. How you doing today?
Not too bad, mate. I had two very, very good games yesterday. Two very good games. And I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, why is this clown wearing sunglasses? Well, I'll tell you. It's because I watched France play. And the future is looking bright, mate. The future is looking very bright for that France team. But let's dive into the first game, or what was the first game yesterday, which was Hungary and Portugal. The Portuguese, they left it late. Bit of a scare, offside goal as well, but they left it late. Give us your thoughts on the game, mate.
Yeah, I mean, at this stage, I think the first games are like the first group games. The rules a bit sketchy, aren't they? Like teams are just feeling each other out. But with the attacking talent that Portugal have, I mean, they have Bruno Fernandes, Ronaldo, Silva. They just have so many players playing. And yeah, you just expected it to light up straight away, but Hungary just weren't having it, to be fair. They put up a great fight, but once Portugal got that first goal, then yeah, you could see their heads just dropped, and then Ronaldo does what he does best, step up to take penalties and grabbed another goal at the end.
Yeah, it was a bit of a scare on Hungary. To the credit, they fought admirably. I thought they applied themselves really well first half. Second half, they got really into it. Shum scored that goal, which, I mean, how amazing was it to hear 60,000 people erupt like that? For a split second, you thought they'd done it. Well offside, about 7 miles offside, so I'm going to need you to calm down a little bit. Kicked off with the linesman afterwards, as if he wasn't offside. Of course he were. And then Guerrero just it was a horrible goal, wasn't it, the first one? Yeah. It was one of them where it was a heartbreaking, shows you how cruel football can be kind of goal.
I think the minute that it came in as well was just like, that was it, innit? Like, you just can't, once you've been defending for a whole game. To be fair, I wouldn't say they were defending. They weren't like, they were putting up a massive fight, but I think just the energy after having a disallowed goal, it was so, like you say, it's so far offside. I don't even know what the guy was arguing about, to be fair. But once things like that go against, you feel like they've gone against you, it kind of just like a kick in the teeth, and they just lost all composure from that. And then, Portugal grabbed another two.
Yeah, it took the wind out of him, didn't it? And Ronaldo, like you say, rolling back the years. I mean, he's just been good all these years. Like, when's Ronaldo never not been good? But two goals against Hungary. The question is, do you think he can, and the rest of his teammates can rise to the occasion in the tougher games that they've got coming up next?
It's hard to tell, because was he really in the game at all yesterday? I can't remember him doing anything else. Jota looked like he was on fire, but again, there's just something wrong about the performance. Like, it was just all individuals. There's a couple of times where Jota should have passed, and he just shot. Silva just didn't look his usual self. Bruno Fernandes again was just non-existent, and Ronaldo didn't really do much. But I think that's probably the good thing, that there is more to come from them, and they won 3-0, so they're not going to be complaining tonight.
Resounding win, and they didn't really get out of first gear, I felt, same as you. So another team that maybe I actually think didn't look like they went through the gears at all tonight, but were well worth the win, was the other game. I say tonight, last night rather, was the game between France and Germany. Now, France, it could have been 3. He had 2 disallowed goals. Mbappe looked phenomenal. The last goal that was disallowed was just counter-attacking football at its best. The goal that actually did count was just really bleeding unfortunate. But, I mean, Pogba in the build-up, that France team is full of superstars, isn't it?
Yeah, and again, Benzema hasn't played for how many years, and come back and just look like he had been part of the team for all the years that he was missing. Griezmann looked sharp. I mean, what surprised, I wouldn't say it surprised me, but what Deschamps has got them doing is the attackers are buying into defending. Once you've got attackers that buying into defending, and you've got world-class, like genuine world-class strikers buying into defending, you're onto a good thing. And Kante again, just another Kante-like performance. Pogba in bits today was great again. The pass for the first goal was an amazing pass. But like you're saying, and they still had, they're one of the only teams that have a legitimate like plan B as well. They had Dembele on the bench, Olivier Giroud on the bench, so they still got talent to come into the squad if they ever need it, which is probably scary for everybody else because that is their full strength, but their subs bench isn't too shabby, to be honest.
If plan A is not working, they've got plan B, C, D, and E, and just so on and so forth. Where did Germany go from here? Because I didn't think they looked too bad, but I felt like they give it the best effort, and it just wasn't enough against the France team that we haven't even seen them really play. There was flashes of brilliance from France, but they weren't on top of the game, and Germany could have took advantage and just didn't really seem to be anywhere close in terms of quality.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even know what to expect from Germany, to be fair. I mean, they've got obviously Kimmich, who's world class. Hummels has been around the block forever.
Yeah.
Manuel Neuer, he's been around forever. Then obviously Thomas Muller, just very underrated. Then you got Gundogan, who's had an amazing season. But for me, the team just looked out of ideas. They just look a bit, I don't know. There's no one that really excites you. And the only two people that would really excite me in this team at the moment is Leroy Sané and Gnabry. And Gnabry didn't have the best of matches, and Sané was a substitute. Kai Havertz, don't even know what didn't even know he was on the pitch. And then you got bloody Tiger Timo to come on. That's not going to scare you, is it? When you've got him coming onto the pitch. So I don't know where they go from here, to be honest. I mean, it's still going to be good enough to beat most teams. They've got the experience as well on their side, but they're not. I don't know. For me, they don't really excite me. They don't excite me.
It could have been worse. I feel like they could have been blown out of the water. If those, you're talking about 2 disallowed goals, fractions offside, if they go in, it's a completely different result and it knocks the confidence. But Germany, I think, lives to fight another day. Potentially could get another couple of decent results in this group, but we'll see where it goes. Man of the match for you for France, if you could pick one of the French players who sort of shone for you last night in that team perform, and it was a fantastic team performance. It just looked so cohesive.
You could give it to a couple players. I mean, for me, it was Kante or Mbappe, but I'm going to give it to Mbappe just because he just looked dangerous every time he picked up the ball, to be honest, and they were proper scared of him. Hummels made that great challenge after Mbappe got away from him, but Mbappe was just a constant thorn in their side. Pogba had a better game as well, but yeah, definitely for me, Mbappe.
That pass from Pogba for the first goal. We'll move on in a second. That pass from Pogba for the first goal. He played it, and I was like,
I had to look a few times because I'm still. It was a great pass, but I still think he was trying to get Mbappe in. I think he tried to do it outside of the boot to Mbappe. I think he's overhit it, and it's turned out to be a great pass. I want to go with that.
He's never ever going to admit that. He's just like, yeah, man.
But yeah, no, it was definitely a good pass, and the fullback made it a chance, to be honest.
Well, we're talking about 2 great games of football yesterday. This is what we've got on the menu for today, my friend. Finland and Russia kicking off at 2:00 in Russia. St. Petersburg, will be a strong Russian crowd behind them. Then you've got Turkey and Wales in Baku. That might as well be a home crowd for Turkey. That's going to be a difficult game for Wales. And then Italy and Switzerland in the evening kickoff in Rome, another home tie. Finland and Russia, we'll just go to them first. Give us 30 seconds what you think the score will end up being in that game. I think it's pretty tough to call that one.
Yeah, it's tough to call. I can't remember Finland's game. Who did they play in the first game?
They played Denmark.
Denmark. Oh yeah.
Bit of a non-game, really, wasn't it?
Bit of a non-game. Yeah, so it's hard to really say what they're about. And I think, without being disrespectful, I think they only won because of what actually happened. I don't think they would have got results. So again, in this one, I'll probably be going Russia. Even though they looked very old as well, man, they just didn't look. But I'm going to go Russia 2-0. And it's a home advantage, even though it's not supposed to be, but it is. So 2-0 to Russia.
I sort of agree with you. I think Russia are going to be buoyed, even though they were awful last time out. But I think even if they're at the best, it was just nothing they were going to do, was there? Yeah. I think they'll be buoyed by a home crowd. But I think Finland will also be buoyed by, even though it was very difficult circumstances, the fact that they've got 3 points on the board already. I think they'll feel like they're safe to go through in third. I think they'll play with a bit of freedom. And I think you're looking at maybe a 1-1 draw. Turkey and Wales. Gizzy thoughts on that, mate? Where do you think that's going to go?
I mean, we all had Turkey.
Let's not talk about
that. The surprise package. And Wales didn't really offer much. They got away with a point in the end, but they didn't really offer much in the first game. There
was flashes, wasn't there? But
I mean, you've got Gareth Bale, so anything is possible. I could see this being a draw, to be honest. Again, 1-1, I think.
I agree. I think Wales might score one against the run of play. I think they'll try and defend for their lives the entire game, and I think Turkey will grab one back. I'm going to say 1-1 as well. Yeah, you said Turkey, mate. We weren't wrong. The surprise package is just a surprisingly shit, not surprisingly good. Italy and Switzerland, that is the key game in the group. Italy looked absolutely fantastic first game, didn't they? How did you see that one going?
They did, but I think Switzerland are a bit of a different proposition just because Switzerland, again, they're just one of those teams that know how to get out of the group stages. I don't think it's going to be an easy game like it was Italy's first game. I don't think it's going to be an easy game again for them, but I do see them winning just based off how confident they were, how confident they're going to be after the last game. So I will go 2-1 to Italy.
Yeah, I agree. I think Switzerland are going to give them a better game just because Switzerland, they needed to beat Wales. They didn't. And they're going to have to come out, and they know they're going to have to come out on the front foot and try and get something out of the game. But I do think it's going to play into Italy's hands. Italy have already got 3 points on the board. I think they know they're pretty much safe already, especially on the strength of that performance. Italy are they're a strong performer. Apart from, you could call France last night. I think Italy have been the most impressive team so far. So, yeah, I'm going to go with you that, mate. 2-1. 2-1, I'm going to say. And that wraps up this morning's show. Thank you very much, everyone, for tuning in. This has been Krista Collins and Big Gunner. You can see our socials down there ticking along the screen. But because we're on the Mad Sports Network, we'll just say it anyway. Please follow the Mad Sports Network. Go and subscribe to us on YouTube. Just search for Mad Sports Network and you will find us. Or we are on social at Mad Sports Net. And you've got 2 founders, Gav, Mac and Devo down there. You've got their handles as well, so make sure you follow them. Give this a like. Share the video. Make sure you tune in for all of our videos. We're releasing these every single morning throughout the Euros, 8 o'clock, and we'll be doing some watch-alongs and stuff as well. So make sure you follow the socials just so you can catch up with what is going on. From myself, Krista Collins, and Big Gunner over there, thank you for tuning in, and we will catch you later. Enjoy the games.